Welcome, my friends of Draper. This is another art class with Mrs. Inglesby. I see that you guys were studying about Indians and American Indians, and I thought that we could draw together a headdress for a chief. So I have one here that I have color, and I also have one here in black and white. If you don't have any colors, you are welcome to remain it on black and white. I just have added a few designs and details with my marker in this case, or pencil if you have one, to decorate. You can use pencils, a marker, a color pencil, a Sharpie. You can use anything that you have to draw with. So in this case, this is what we're gonna be drawing. A couple of things that we're gonna start is with some practice, and we're gonna practice a couple things together. One of the things that I want you to practice is, first of all, we're gonna start with the dot, and then a circle over it, and another circle over it. That's the first thing I want you to practice. The next thing I want you to practice is we're gonna come out of this circle to create the head part band of the head. So that's one thing that I want you to practice. Another thing that I want you to practice is a curved line, a series of curved lines, kind of about the same width. And then we're gonna practice closing them. So curvy line, curvy line, curvy line, curvy line, curvy line on both ends. So curvy line, curvy line, curvy line, curvy line to close them. And the next thing we're gonna practice is coming out a little kind of like a feather. The first one you get to see. The next one you don't get to see much. So if you see the whole thing, we get to do in, out, and then like little fire things. That's one thing that I want you to practice. The next thing that we're gonna practice is how to make a feather. Feathers have curvy lines in the middle for the center part of your feather, and then we're gonna do out and out curvy line, in curvy line, out and I'm following the center of the flower of the feather, excuse me. Out and out and out and to create that feather. Once we get to the bigger feathers, I'm you can have them pretty long. And we're practicing. If you want to make it nicer on the side, you can always go to create that in, out, of your feather. Either way, it will work for this. And I want you to practice this before we actually start drawing. We're gonna start drawing together. Okay, so remember, we are going to start with the circle and we're gonna work our way outwards. Our paper is sitting the tall way, and I'm starting, if you pay attention, kind of middle of the page towards here. And we're gonna start together. After you practice, we are going to start together. So here is our paper. Remember, I'm gonna start at the bottom. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with that little dot. have my dot. The next thing I have is that circle around my dot. And I'm gonna do one more circle around my dot. And one more time. So that's kind of the part what is kind of whole. The next thing I'm going to do is create the part of the head. And I'm going to end up using a curvy line too. I'm gonna do curved line there and a curved line going up. Now because I'm gonna have all those designs in there, I'm gonna do the ends over. So first thing I'm gonna have is a curvy line, and I'm gonna make a few of them. So 1, 2, 3 curvy lines, 4, 5, 6, and 7 small ones. And then out of those, I'm gonna have those curvy lines that we talked about. 1, 2, they're very close and similar in width. 3, 4. Out of those lines, I'm making curvy lines. And curvy lines, and curvy lines, and curvy lines. To continue, this is gonna go all to the back of the head, so we can get our drawing going. So we have that one, and we're gonna go ahead and do 1, 2 more, and I'm gonna stop right there because here we're gonna have a feather. So once you get to these lines, curvy lines, we're gonna close. And remember how we close them? Curvy lines, 1, 2, small ones, 3, each of them. We are closing them. And I'm gonna skip the rest for now. We're closing all those. When we're closing, we're gonna draw what we practiced, which is a feather, but it almost looks like a little flame, which is this one's right here that we practiced. So the first one, we get to see it full. So it goes curvy line, out, in, out, and I'm coming back as a very small one. And then my next one, same thing. I don't get to see the whole thing because the other one is in front. Curvy line and curvy line. Curvy line out, curvy line in. And I'm just changing the points to where they go. You can do the same thing. Curvy line, and I'm curving out and then in. Curving out and then in. Curving the other way out and then in. I'm continuing curving. And then in. And same thing, gonna curve out and then in. The next thing we're gonna do is gonna do this feathers down here so we can finish this part. So if you remember what I told you about feathers, the first one has an inside. So it's 2 curvy lines together, and then I'm gonna go out, in, out, in, out, in, out to finish my feather. And I'm coming back, in, out, in, and I'm finishing that feather. Now it has another one next to it that it was a little bigger, but I don't get to see much of that, of the inside part. And I go again, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And when I'm coming back, it's because it's behind the other one. I don't get to see my other feather. So now that we have that, let's finish this side because we still had some lines going to finish, except that the curvy line, they will not see in the whole thing because they're behind the feathers. But now we can finish our little feathers that are going on in here. These are small feathers that are going in there. I haven't done any details, we're just doing the basic drawing. The next thing I'm gonna do, it's a feather. And I'm gonna choose that probably around here on the middle of that head. So I'm gonna have my first feather that shows everything. So both sides of my feather, remember, you can go in and out if you want it, or you can just do one curvy line. And that's one of my feathers. I see the whole thing. My next feather, it's gonna curve and it's gonna go all the way from the bottom, but only on one side. So I can go in, out, in, out. And there's my next feather. Same thing, my next feather goes out and starts from the bottom. In, out, see, out, in, curvy line. And the next one, curvy line. And I have the next one. This one's gonna go sideways, and I gotta meet the point from here. Go curvy line, in and out, or you can do one curvy line without having to do the in and out, and it will work too. I'm gonna keep going. In and out, in and out, in. Now, I'm continuing to kind of create, I have an oval, so this one is gonna go right there, and I mark it so it helps me. Out and out. And then we have this one that it goes, same thing, out, in, out, in, out, in. Remember, I'm gonna do the, hold on, I'm gonna do the other two. So we have one that goes there, out, in, and this one. If you did not do the out end, you can also do, remember I said you do the curve, and it will also work, because now I'm gonna do the decorations, and some of them, like I can see the middle of my, I'm just making curvy lines in the middle of my feathers. I'm gonna finish this one now on the top. Out, in, and from here I'm gonna do where I'm gonna end it. That way I know where I'm gonna stop. And one more. Out, in, and I finish my feathers. Same thing, I continue decorating my feathers by making lines, curvy lines, showing what the middle of my feathers are. Same thing here. Excuse me. On the smaller feathers, I can do little lines just around them, little tiny lines to suggest more feathers around inside of it. I'm not creating. The next thing that I'm gonna decorate, and you can decorate however you want, you can decorate the inside of there. So here I get the ones I decorate have two lines there, two lines next to each other for the decoration. I can decorate mine like that. The one outside I had going triangles. Decorate it inside. The next thing that I had here is that this divided. I have a division up here and a division up here on the bottom. I did, oh wait, I did the same thing as the circle, but I did a double inside. Same thing on the top. And then I had a double of diagonals in there. And in the middle, I did a circle with a diamond in it. And then I continued that diamond out to finish decorating my head piece. Another thing that I would like to decorate was something in here. So what I did was I created this curved lines and then color it curvy, and then I color the inside to create some dimension. And then I did some decorations inside. My decorations were I made curvy lines to represent that maybe they are tied together. At the bottom, and like they're tied together on the top. So I made on the top too. Curvy lines, curvy lines. Then I decided to do some decoration in the inside by creating a little X big enough to go on each, and you can do circles, you can do lines. This is just what I chose to decorate mine. And here you have it, my friends. We have a beautiful headdress. Now you can get to color it like I showed you. You can color it like I have it in here with colors. It doesn't have to be the same colors. Or if you don't have colors, you can finish coloring. I just color the tips and back. Compared to this one, I just color my tips to create some dark shadows. And you'll have a beautiful headdress. I hope this week lessons bring you some fun and some creative ideas, some repetition of your lives, and some patterns. That way we can learn how to draw easier. So I hope you have some fun. Please email me your final drawings. Always lights up my day to see your drawings at the end of the week. It's just my highlight of the day. If you have questions, email me, and I try to post on the class things, a few things. So I am so happy for another class with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it.